the thing that would make the most difference would be if we could increase our conversion rate, that was really what was holding us back from growing faster as a business, that you can only invest so much in new customer acquisition when your conversion rate is low. So this was going to be the thing that was going to be the game changer for us.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the CheckoutScout Tent, where today I'm delighted to be joined by Janis Thomas, who's the e-commerce and marketing director of the beauty brand Look Fabulous Forever. Janis, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Can we just start? Can you just tell us a little bit about Look Fabulous Forever and what it does and what sort of size it is now?
Yeah, so Look Fabulous Forever launched almost 8 years ago. That our founder, Trisha Cusden, was 65 at the time, and she found that mainstream beauty brands and retailers just weren't catering to older women, and specifically that older women's skin tends to need slightly different products, particularly from a makeup and skincare perspective, than younger women do. But most beauty brands, if you're older than 30, you're considered an older audience. So they don't really cater for particularly women in their 60s and 70s who have very different needs and do actually care about looking their best. So Trisha was very frustrated by this whole situation. So she launched Look Fabulous Forever. And it's gone from strength to strength.
Give us some numbers if you can. What sort of market size are you now, or units or growth have you seen?
We're still in the single figure millions, but hoping to break that before too long. My role covers both e-commerce and marketing, which is actually quite unusual. So I'm responsible for both all the marketing of the site, but also the platform itself, and particularly the nature of e-commerce. Sometimes there can be that split between the product and marketing teams who have slightly different objectives. It's really nice to have that kind of sat under the same roof, so to speak.
And just tell us briefly about with Look Fabulous Forever and the growth. What platform do you run the site on currently?
So we're on Magento, and we have been for a very long time, which is quite unusual for a business of our size. But I think particularly when I came in 18 months ago, we discussed, is that the right platform for us? And I think long term, it's a great platform to be on, particularly as we get bigger and bigger, that it can really scale. So I'm excited about that.
So we should talk about some of the specific kind of business challenges and solutions that you find, because that's what CheckoutScout is all about. So what were the biggest challenges over this incredible last 18, 20 months, which coincides with you being at the company, that you faced, and give us some color on how you've actually overcome them, what you've done about it?
So when I joined, it became apparent pretty much immediately the thing that would make the most difference would be if we could increase our conversion rate, that was really what was holding us back from growing faster as a business, that you can only invest so much in new customer acquisition when your conversion rate is low. So this was going to be the thing that was going to be the game changer for us. And we were very conscious that the nature of our website was that it was trying to do different things for different audiences. So in particular, because what we do is so unique within the marketplace, then actually, if you've never heard of us before and you're visiting our website for the first time, you want to know quite a lot about Trisha and her story and why she founded the brand and how our products are different and all of those things. You want to get us to know us quite well. But if you're a returning customer, you already know all that. You already know about Trisha and you're already bought into that. So that kind of stuff is getting in the way of you getting into the kind of products and things that you're specifically interested in. So I knew the kind of key first step was being able to provide different experiences for different customers because their needs were different, and that would be key to increasing our conversion. And that was indeed the case. And most of our growth has come from both an increase in conversion, but also increased investment in customer acquisition because it's more cost effective because of the increase in conversion.
And what external partners or providers or vendors have you used on that journey to help you?
So I was very early. I think I've been in the job for about 6 weeks, and I had a meeting with Fresh Relevance, and that is exactly what they do, is personalized experiences. And it became apparent very quickly that we did look at other options, but fresh relevance was definitely going to be the right option for us, because I think, particularly because we're not a huge business, we didn't want to be spending tens of thousands of pounds a month on a personalization platform that we kind of had to, we thought that this was going to be what was going to work for us. We kind of needed to give it a try and see what happened. And yeah, they were absolutely brilliant to work with. They provided us with great support, because we don't have any in-house product team. We use with an external supplier for product. So particularly picking something that is very easy for marketing teams to use without needing any coding, and having a kind of WYSIWYG editor and those kind of things, and being able to say, okay, I want to put this block on this page for these people, and that very much being within the marketing team's control was very kind of key in that process.
And then sort of looking more to currently in the future, I think you've mentioned to you before that A/B testing is very much on your agenda. How are you tackling that?
Because I knew conversion was such a big thing, there's a lot of changes that we've made in the last 18 months have been much more about, this is not kind of, we had stuff that wasn't best practice and kind of all of those things, and kind of doing it because we knew it was the right thing to do, than necessarily saying let's A/B test to refine it. But now kind of we've done that big work, it is much more subtle about, is that button the right color with the right call to action in the right place, and kind of all of those things.
Are there any other specific technology or software or app-based solutions, either within Magento or elsewhere, that you've started using that you feel would be good tips for our audience?
Yes, so we knew that kind of one of our biggest barriers to growth is helping women understand which specific color makeup products to choose. Like, what shade of lipstick is going to suit you? And that is kind of the key barrier to buying those kind of products online. And we weighed up a lot of different options, that there are some kind of quiz tools out there. We looked at AR as well, and I think particularly the problem with AR is part of the reason that certain colors suit us better than others is to do with the way they refract light on your skin, and AR struggles to replicate that, because you're not actually putting it on your skin and then the light refracting accordingly. So we knew that we didn't just want a quiz, we actually needed someone that would help us with the whole kind of UX of getting somebody to understand what product was right for them, and kind of having faith in the recommendations, I think was a really kind of key part of it. So I met with Conversity tail end of last year, who are specialist in intelligent guided selling, and particularly what they do is help develop that experience. They're very good at understanding the kind of psychology of decision making, and kind of how you make it easy and how you give people confidence.
Coming towards the end actually of our quick chat, moving away from Look Fabulous Forever, I ask all my guests, what other existing e-com retailer or DTC do you admire, or even wish that you work for, or even own?
Yeah, I think the last 18 months has been really interesting for D2C, and you've had whole sectors grow that never existed before. And I think for me, seeing companies like Dispatch that are doing the kind of restaurant menus that you can order online and kind of cook at home are brilliant, because I live just outside the M25, which is you might as well be in the middle of nowhere as far as a lot of these things are concerned. So suddenly being able to have national delivery of some of the best restaurants in the country is just such an exciting proposition for me as a consumer, and I think they've done a brilliant job.
Janis, thanks very much for giving us a few minutes of your time to tell us what's going on Look Fabulous Forever. That was great. Thanks again. Thank you.
Thanks, Martin.